Welcome, brothers and sisters, lovers, mothers, others, no others, whatever. It's the Vegematic Show. And I'd like to say that tonight I'm particularly burnt out as an old man. And I'll tell you, it's not easy cutting down trees when you're my age. Had a lightning strike in the backyard and a big tree fell down. I think it was an omen of bad things to come. I'd like to report some positive things in the news, but that's just not possible these days, so I just thought I'd dive deep into the shitosphere once more. So welcome to the shitosphere. What do we have this week? Oh, the guy that got Trump's star. And that shit means a lot, you know, that dogs can piss on a star that you have on Hollywood Boulevard. And the guy who went with the pickaxe, right? $20,000 bond he was held on for destroying the cheesy star on Hollywood Boulevard for a cheesy person on Hollywood Boulevard. And apparently the scene of the crime, also the scene of an altercation between Trump supporters wearing their little Chinese shirts and their Chinese hats. And Trump is really excited because he thinks he's gonna be around in 2020. Now this is what I don't understand. If there's a God in the universe, why doesn't he just hit this guy with a heart attack or something? He eats the Big Macs. I mean, he's overweight. Is it me, or is he becoming uglier and uglier? It just seems like every time I'm presented with that face, with that scowling, horrible face, it becomes more demonic all the time. Does anybody else notice that? I just can't help it. So what else we got going on here? Oh, people talking about Cohen flipping. Cohen's gonna flip. And I've been waiting for this shit for months, for a year and a half now. And it's just, wake me up when it's over, okay? Because this is not going to end well. No matter who ends it, we're all screwed. Now, I had thought of perhaps getting a frontal lobotomy to help me deal with the current events. So in other news, I've noticed that Hambone is staying put in New York for the time being, courtesy of Sandy tying him up. And the whole audience was thrilled with that, Sandy, and you're just so cool. That is just so amazing.
Not leaving, mother effer! You're not leaving! You planned this goddamn party with me and you're staying! Do you have anything to say for yourself? Help! Look, I even cut all his hair off. Oh my God! And Sancho's even tied up. We got them all tied up. We got them both tied up. Ha 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 ha. Nope, they're not leaving.
Because I knew he was making a mistake saying, I'm going to pack up my toys and go home, because he didn't get into Kanakistan. I mean, it's not the end of the world, man. It's not that fucking great up here anyway. Other than the free health care, but you wouldn't qualify for it anyway, so still putting together my video studio down here, and I actually got off my ass to move my little digital recording machine, and I'm gonna have a proper microphone, and I'm gonna look really professional just to piss those guys that think that you can't make anything of yourself in life. All those people that have said to me, you're never gonna amount to anything. Oh yeah? I got 600 and something subscribers on YouTube that think differently. So up yours. Wait a minute. And how many of those watch my videos? These are the questions that keep me up at night. I decided that I'd talk about a few things today, especially freedom of the press. Now, freedom of the press is something that really hasn't existed since the Fairness Doctrine was revoked by none other than Ronald Reagan, the author of so many current misfortunes. Julian Assange is going to lose his diplomatic protection. And what can you say about Julian? What he has done is no different than what other newspapers in the past had done to uncover government corruption, but they're not having any of it anymore. They're planning to extradite him. Now, if he is extradited and thrown into prison, this will cast a pall over all news organizations, big and small, especially small. Because if you can be thrown in jail for reporting the truth, and you can be disappeared, you know it's too late. Speaking of before it's too late, you might want to get out in the streets and protest. The State Department has begun retroactively revoking passports to transgender women. Wasn't there another despot in history that started revoking passports from groups of people that they didn't particularly want to leave the country because they had other plans for them? But I'm sure nothing like that could ever happen. Nothing like that could ever happen in that beacon of freedom, Lady Liberty Land. Could it? So you hear that the White House official communications misspelled the word United States. They misspelled it. Now I kind of wonder if it might have been deliberate to appeal to their base more because they feel more like, hey, they're one of us. We're illiterate too. You know, I could see them trying to give Donald Trump spelling lessons. Now sound it out, Donald. You, me, united, you, united. Come on, Donnie, you can do it. Me united. Me united. Yeah, me united. I think that's pretty cool. I'd like to be knighted. Oh, remember what Donnie told you. Donnie said, don't believe your eyes, and don't believe what you read or what's in front of you or anything else. Believe Donnie. How pathetically stupid do you have to be to accept that? How pathetically ignorant do you have to be? How filled with self-loathing and a death wish do you have to be to say, don't believe your eyes and ears? Don't do it. Nothing is real. All is Donald. And everybody's got their eyes on Cohen. They think that they're going to bring down the Trumpster. The Trumpster is in there like, you know, an infection that gets inside a tree, you know, a worm or something that gradually sucks the life out of everything. Well, that's what he's doing. And everybody's, you see, there's another thing behind all this investigation and everything, because everyone knows he's a crook. It's to mollify people, to make them calm, so that they think, oh, justice is going to come. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's going to get worse because you're not all out in the street protesting. And when I look at the ongoing protests outside the White House, and honestly, it's pretty pathetic. For a country of 300 million to have maybe 300 people out there, I admire what they're doing and I respect it, but why are there not 300,000? Just wondering. Or is it at this point everybody's waiting for Mueller and waiting for the indictments and everything? But that might be part of the con. They know that there's no indictments coming. They know that they've twisted the law. They know that Donnie is the supreme leader and that what he says goes. So don't be distracted. Get out and protest while you can. So here are the 5 most well-compensated CEOs. What you see and hear isn't really happening, so I just discard anything I say here. The CEOs at America's top companies earned a 16% raise last year. When was the last time you ever heard of a 16% raise? For a total of $5.2 billion. Number 1, and this is according to Forbes, Stephen Lovekin. No information. Don't know where he works. Don't know what he does. That's the number 1. And it doesn't even say how much he makes, so it must be so much that it's a state secret. John Hammergren, CEO of McKesson, a medical supply company. $131.2 million. How does he survive? Ralph Lauren, you know, the fashion dude, he used $66.7 million last year. Michael Fasciatelli at Vornado Realty, $64.4 million. And number 5 spot goes to somebody you may have heard the name before. Richard Kinder of Kinder Morgan pulled in $60 million, but his net worth is actually $8.2 billion. Apparently, despoiling the planet is one of the most profitable things a human being can do. Nowhere in the list does it mention how much they paid in taxes. Well, they got a 16% raise. You got a 16% raise, and it doesn't say anything about how many taxes they paid. That's nobody's business. It's a state secret, just like Donald Trump can't look at his taxes. No, sir. I'd like to specifically say thanks to Frater Chaos for continuing to share these across his Google Plus platform. And the Google Plus thing I'm on less and less these days, simply because every time I post something on there, I've got 2 people that give it a thumbs up. Frater Chaos is always one of them, and Joey Boxer Rocks, formerly Bag O' Donuts. Always pluses, so I can collect pluses cumulatively and maybe trade them in for something down the road. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for being with me, and thanks for listening to me all these months and all these years, and pretty soon decades of the Vegematic Show. I will continue doing this for as long as my health holds out, as long as my strength holds out, as long as my voice holds out, and as long as we all hold out. So everybody hold out. Things might get a little bit better before they get worse. Then again, they might just keep getting worse, but whatever. We'll either get through it, or we'll all just go up in a flaming ball of smoke, like the forest fires north of here in Ontario, forest fires in California, forest fires in BC, fires, fires, fires. The earth is on fire, and let's not talk about methane release. That's the really scary stuff. So we are heading for the ball of fire together. I'd just like to say thank you very much to all the people, and you know who you are. Oh yes, don't forget to do not forget that the new Revolution Continues blog is out, and it's used to be called Bernie Blog 216, but I think Cindy needs a new domain name, so we'll see what we can do with that. Anyway, read the Revolution Continues blog every Tuesday, and Cindy puts it out at much expense and trouble to herself, and gets nothing for it other than the knowledge that you're doing something positive rather than just sitting on your ass like most of us are doing. So here's to you, Cindy Matthews. Keep up the good work. Who else? There's all kinds of people I'd like to thank, but my memory is like a sieve these days. But it's always the same people. It's always the same people keep coming back for more. I don't know if they've got masochistic tendencies or if maybe I am kind of actually entertaining in some way. Well, I knew there had to be a purpose for my life somewhere. I think I found it. Right here on YouTube. I think I want to just expand my life into a great plume of creativity exploding across your little screens and devices, colors dripping through your screens. I want to be huge, I tell you. Just want to make it through another day. So as long as we can all make it through another day, let's make it through another day. Let's stay simpatico with each other. Everybody needs to look inside and see what it is that their better angels are telling them to do, and do that. For me, it might be just doing this stupid little YouTube thing that entertains people that already hold the same views that I do. But at least I'm saying something. At least I'm doing something. So whatever your medium is, whether you write, and some of you guys out there, I know you could write for the Revolution Continues. Why don't you pick up, type it out and send it to Cindy, and if she likes it, she'll put it on the Revolution Continues, and it can expand. Because that's what we need, is concentric waves expanding. I dream of a world without QAnon. I dream of a world without conspiracy theories, nutty, crazy, stupid, mindless conspiracy theories that serve to distract one from any meaningful conversation that we might have with our fellow human beings. No, take this powerful communication tool and do something with it. But there's more of us than there are of them. It doesn't seem like it sometimes, because they're the loud ones. They're the braggarts. They're the bombastic, blank, boring, but bombastic. They have loud voices and they scowl a lot. Who does that remind you of? People that scowl all the time. You notice that? You walk around like, stay away. All right, man, I'll stay away. Anyway, it's all for this week. Peace, love, brotherhood, sisterhood, motherhood, otherhood. All of you stay well. And Hambone, please, Hambone and Sandy, you better put up a lot of video of that party, because I can't be there because of bureaucratic bullshit.